Hey, it's time for show and tell on Poppa Paints. Today, I'm not going to be using a brush. I'm not going to paint at all. It's show and tell. I have a story I thought you might like. By the way, thank you for so many nice things people are texting me and saying to me and on the internet, whatever. Anyway, I have a story I want to show and tell you, okay? So my mother, today is my mother's birthday, November 18th, but she's no longer with us. If she was, today she would be turning 98 years old. So it's November 18th, 2023. She died early in November of 2012. So she's been gone since 2012. But I want to tell you a story. My mother was an immigrant from Germany. She was 3 years old when her mother and her brother and her crossed the ocean from Germany and went to New York. Her father, my grandfather, who I also call Poppa, by the way, which is how I got the title Poppa, he had come a year earlier. But my mom had some kind of a sickness. I don't remember what it was. And so she wasn't allowed to come over because of immigration laws. So a year later, 1928, my mother and my uncle and my grandmother came across from Germany. Okay, that's part one of this story. Part two, fast forward to 1962. I'm 7 years old. My mother gets a letter from the government, and it says that she's not a legal citizen of the United States. I don't know the legalities, and I don't remember much about even hearing the legalities, but I remember she was worried about the dollars, the amount of money it was going to cost to hire a lawyer, because she grew up in the Bronx. She went to school in the Bronx. She got married to my dad in the Bronx. She raised her family on Long Island. I was one of them. And now they're telling her she might be deported. How insane was that? So she was worried. She was worried about being deported, but she was also worried about having to pay a lawyer. My mother was New York through and through. She had German roots, yes, but if you listen to my mom talk, she had that very distinct New York accent. Anyway, so when I heard at the age of 7 that she was facing some money problems with immigration, and she was worried, money worries really, I painted a picture of a cat. I walked door to door with that painting. It was an oil painting of a cat. I walked door to door in my neighborhood in North Merrick and North Bellmore. I lived right on the line between the two cities. And I walked door to door trying to sell the painting, and nobody bought it. But there was a lady who didn't know me who asked around, who's the kid trying to sell the painting of the cat? Well, she found out who I was, and she came to my house and knocked on the door and talked to my mother. And she told my mother, your son tried to sell me a painting. Now, I thought I might be in trouble. I thought I was doo-doo. But no, I wasn't in trouble. She wanted to talk to me, to tell me, don't sell that painting. You're a little boy, and one day you're going to be glad you have it. Well, I do have it, and so I want to show it to you. Yeah, that's the cat I painted. Very, very unskilled as far as the composition. I guess I thought just paint the background green. Doesn't really matter. But the cat itself is, a beginning painting. Anyway, on the back of the painting, I wrote my name. I titled it The Cat, and the date 9/22/62. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there it is. So anyway, so I do have the painting. Listen to this. So my mother died in 2012, and after she passed away, I Robin and I and my family went to her house. My dad had passed 4 years earlier, so there was nobody in that house anymore. So we went to clean out the house to sell it. It was a small house in Beverly Hills, Florida. And among the things was lots of papers, lots of paperwork. I didn't really look at all the paperwork. I kind of just put it like in a bag and with the intent of I'll look at it one piece by piece someday in the future. Well, someday in the future happened, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. I took a long time to look. Well, she's been gone she's been gone since 2012, right? So that means she's been gone 11 years. Okay. So, yeah, 2 or 3 years ago. So I took a long time to get to it. Anyway, one of the pieces of paper that I found was the certificate of immigration that declared that she was legally a citizen of the United States. I found it. It was folded up in an envelope. It wasn't displayed. It wasn't celebrated. It was just kept in an envelope. Well, Robin's mother suggested that I put it in a frame, so I did. I want to show it to you. So there it is. Oops, it's getting reflections on it. There's the certificate of immigration for my mom. And the date that it declared she was a citizen is August 17th, 1933. So she would have been 7. She wouldn't have been 8 yet, right? She'd born 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. In 33, she would have turned 8, so she was 7. She was 7 years old, August 17th, 1933, when she was declared a citizen, but she didn't. Nobody told her. Apparently, I guess. I don't know how they determined the date. If you read it, it's a very hard to read font. It's a very hard to read font, but you could read it. You just have to struggle with it. But the certificate is dated September 10th, 1964. The date of my painting is 1962. I think it's also September, right? Yeah, September of 62. So it was 2 years. 2 years after she got the worry, and 2 years after I did that painting that I now have, which I'm glad of. But it took a couple years before they finally sent her a certificate. So I don't know, like, at what point the worry was finally lifted from her. I don't know at what point she got a phone call or something that said, don't worry, we'll send you a certificate. I don't know how they came up with 1933 as the date she was a citizen. I mean, you hear all these things about immigration and there are arguments on both sides, but we have a country that is here with the intent, I don't mean to be too political here, but the intent of this country is to give refuge to a world where people aren't free so that they can be free. And there are rules, and I think rules need to be followed. I'm not saying you should just, bust into the place, unless, of course, you're in a country that's so horrible. I'll let somebody else think about those things. But anyway, I wanted to share with you a little bit of my history and how art actually was part of my very, very young years. I remember painting all the time. I wasn't really great at it, but it came easy, if that makes sense. I got some elementary school awards and things like that, but now I'm Poppa. Now I have this channel called Poppa Paints, and I have you guys. You guys, where's the lens? Right there. Is that the lens? Whoa, that's the lens right there, huh? I never knew where it was. It's there. Nope, it's not there. It's there. So I gotta look there if I want to feel like I'm looking at you. All right, kids. That's it. I'll paint in the next video, but this time I wanted to share with you my little story.